All right, hey, what's going on, everyone? Obviously, this video, I want to focus on Hogwarts Legacy and my overall thoughts after I completed the campaign. So, the video that you'll be seeing is just kind of, it may have some spoilers along the way, but it's just kind of like a overlay of one of the last couple missions that I was doing. Um, Overall, I have a list of some pros and some cons, but this game I thought was very well done. Especially, I'll get into some pros. First one that I'll mention is the general size of the game. I saw some people worried about that the game was finishing quickly and that if you just did the main missions, you moved pretty fast through it. I actually thought that this game was humongous and you had so many different things to do. I only focused on one house and I was in the Gryffindor house and I didn't even play other games and I still got a good amount of hours through this game. So I thought the actual size of the world and the size of the game and the details that were made throughout was very surprising to me. I was worried that it would be very short and they're just trying to get this one story out and go out and trying to build off this Hogwarts name and then just not do something like the old like the Order game where it was just like cutscenes, but try to shrink the story, try to maximize money, which I was very happy to see that they did not just focus on making money and they actually put some time and effort into this story. And I'll just preface this by saying I didn't look into any of the story arcs beforehand. I wanted to be surprised. I am a big Harry Potter fan. I actually read the books again last year. So I wanted to be surprised by the story and where they took it, especially with it being 100 years plus before Harry Potter took place. But I'll get to the story later. So some cons and a pro kind of tied together were the movement mechanics. I am a Call of Duty player growing up. I still play it. I also grew up on Assassin's Creed, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, all those kind of games, Fallout, the big brands. That's kind of what I've been playing in Call of Duty. It's just been the mainstay for me throughout. So I'm used to this tactical shooter. It's in a tough place right now in Call of Duty, really slow movement. And I was very surprised how quick and how smooth the movement felt for me, especially with the different mechanics and the different spells. I was very happy to see different little alterations to mechanics with each different spell and like little dodges. But I'll say a con to that was the repetitive nature towards the very end. So it wasn't like Assassin's Creed where once you start a side mission or once you get to a certain level, everything just becomes repetitive and the movement is just the same, like four different mechanics. You're just doing it over and over again. I felt there was enough variation throughout the main storyline, but once you get towards the end, you start to really notice that you're in this repetitive game over and over again, which it's hard to get out of because you're doing the same spells over and over again and you're doing the same different fights. So it's not like it's anything super out of the ordinary, but it just did get repetitive a little bit towards the end of the game. But the story got better towards the end of the game, so kind of cancels it out there. I will say the movement of like the not the movement, the mechanic of the screen with the map and stuff, I wish was a little bit faster or more streamlined. So it was kind of annoying to go through the fast travel process and identify different targets and different areas and mark them. I thought it could have been done better just a little bit, maybe switch it up a little bit, or make it like a key bind or something to get those targets faster and get to the map faster and do that process faster. But again, that's just kind of really nitpicky. Nothing really crazy that can be done about that. It's not going to interfere with the game. It's just something I thought along the way. Um, my big con for this whole game as a whole was the ranking system and the limitations that it put on the storyline. So during a stream, I would love to just play multiple missions back to back, main missions. So people that I don't have many, but people that do want to watch can get the main story along the way. They don't have to break it up by streams. But however, this game, what they did was limit some of the main missions by ranking. So if I was like a level 24, I couldn't do a level 25 mission. And I understand why. I understand more with when there's like um what's it called? Like potions or different spells involved that are required because that's part of the mission. But again, like I said, I grew up on like Assassin's Creed, where if you were a lower level and you wanted to play a higher level mission, they let you do it up to a certain extent, and all that happened was the game was just made a little bit harder for that run, which I would have loved to just push through and then do the side missions to catch up on afterwards. Um, which is a very unique perspective to someone that's trying to stream the game. But again, it's just something I wish they would have done and allowed for because this game I've tried Elden Ring, I've tried Bloodborne. I can never get through those games, and this game was not on that difficulty level. This game was more towards that Assassin's Creed, Elder Scrolls, where I felt like even if I was at a lower level, I could still push through and find a way to beat the boss at the end or complete the mission where the other Elden Ring games I couldn't even do it if they were the same level. It was that difficult. But I really wish that it would have let me just kind of play through and then catch up. Maybe like say you can play up to 3 ranks higher than you, kind of one of those things, but then limit you so you have to catch up on the side missions. I really wish there was something like that within this game. That's my big con. Nothing crazy to it. And then going off of that point, the house cup at the end. So after you complete the game, there's those 2 post missions. The one you could do right away, pretty simple. And then there's the cup at the very, very end. I don't know why it was like it, but I finished. I don't remember, but I finished like 10 levels, something like that, below the requirement to do the house cup. And as much as I love this game, grinding for another 10 levels after completing the main story and doing everything, it felt kind of weird. I just wish that they would have lowered that ranking. Say like once you finish the game, whatever level you're at, maybe do like 1 or 2 levels higher if they want to do the World Cup or whatever, take your owls and all that stuff. But that was another weird thing that I saw at the end that I was just like, okay, I'll do it, but I don't want to really focus my time on it. So it just kind of felt like more of a grind than like a story through the game. And speaking of story, my biggest pro for this whole game and this biggest surprise for me of the whole thing was the storyline. Um, I was I wasn't worried, but I didn't really know where the story was going to go, especially because we're laying the groundwork for future years, which lead to obviously Harry Potter. So I didn't know how they were going to link everything, and I thought that this story was very unique, and it gave a lot of background to some of the aspects of the books that I kind of worried about. And then when you get to the Deathly Hollows and those 3 different missions with the wands and all that, and the stone, I thought that was super well done. I love the link to the books and giving people that read Harry Potter and like it um, tie-ins throughout the way that kept them interested. Kind of like, oh, this is cool. I'm actually like seeing a little bit about where this comes from and how it came about and actually playing through. I thought that was really, really well done. And I think that is something that if they want to keep building on and keep adding, that he can keep doing it. Maybe in future years, introducing like the Malfoy house or the like the Potter Malfoy family or the Potter family, if they want to keep building throughout this legacy in this world. Because obviously that's I would love to play as Harry Potter, and I think everyone that wants to play this would love to play as Harry Potter or Malfoy or somebody like that. Um, I thought those ties to the books were fantastic. Um, that is one of the great surprises of this game, and I'm really happy they did it. Another thing to add for a pro, which I don't think they can even mention it as they're doing, was the timing this game came out. So during this time when it came out, obviously Call of Duty, MW2, Destiny 2 hadn't had their update. Battlefield was in shambles or whatever. Halo was bad. We're in this kind of rut of first-person shooters and these lack of games. So the last big game really was kind of Elden Ring, that one game of the year, and I wasn't really a fan of it because it was just not my style of play. Um, Nothing against the game, it just wasn't my style. But this game came out, I felt like at a perfect time for this. It felt like everyone was really excited for it, and once I started playing it, they fell in love with it, and they grew to love it even more as you found more about this war, found out more about the world and the different missions that you could do. So I thought the timing, even though probably I don't know, they can't plan for the downfall of all these games at once, but I thought the timing of this was very good, and it helped that they kind of provided this outlet for people that are looking for something else to play, but nothing really came out at this time. And with the flop of MW2, or not the flop, the lack of updates, I should say, for people that care, MW2 and Warzone and other FPS shooters that are looking for something else, this came out at a great time to give them something to play and have fun with, and you don't have to really try hard, and just have fun, which was obviously a huge part of why everyone plays video games, just to have fun. So overall, story was great. I would recommend this game to everyone that I know. I have a lot of friends that have played it and still play it, and it is a great game. The cons, yes, there are some cons, but it's nothing serious that should stop you from getting this game. No matter full price, it's on sale, whatever. It should be a fun game for everyone to play, and it is a fun game for everyone to play, from what I've heard from everyone that's told me about it. If I have any, so yeah, that's my overall thoughts on this game. Some pro, some cons, but mainly pro. This game was amazing. If there's any pros that I missed or any cons that you didn't like me to include in the con list, let me know down below. I'd like to know everyone's thoughts on this. So I will see you later. I'll look for those comments.
This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this mine could contain.
Let's get out of here and tell Lodgott what we found. Accio.